Blessings, love, and this is my offering to the divine annual Virgo solar season, new moon in Virgo. A day later, but the sun and the moon are still in Virgo. The new moon is when the sun and the moon meet at the same degree of the same sign to activate the new lunar cycle. And as I'm sure you've become aware, the beauty of social media and more people sharing their gifts and knowledge, there are 2 new moon activations in the sign of Virgo this lunar month, which is very rare. In medical astrology, Virgo rules the pancreas, the small intestine, and the consciousness of the digestive tract. And so there are connections between the ways that we think and how we feel, and Virgo is a window into that energy. You don't need to have Virgo in your astrological birth chart in order to access, anchor, and assimilate this energy into your being and into your body. Virgo is an ancient spirit guide that's been with humanity since the dawn of our own awareness. Virgo lives within all sentient life, so we may access this energy. And when the sun and the moon are both in the sign of Virgo, and imagining yourself as that divine pillar of light that can absorb light codes with consciousness, that I'm willing and open to absorb and receive. I am open and willing to receive the light codes that are offering their wisdom to my life. Only the greatest good and the highest good may come through to pour forth into me, my cells absorbing the light. If you have the ability to stand in the light when you actually do your invocations, imagining yourself absorbing the light, a sacred crystal awaiting conscious activation. When the sun and the moon are in Virgo, we are being asked to become closer to the body, and the meditation is on the pancreas, the small intestine, and the digestive tract through the medical astrology offering. A symbolism for our own ability to give ourselves time with ourselves and this being in this body, a meditation for this body. Most humans, even if they're highly educated, have no concept or connection to their own physical body. They might even be a surgeon or somebody that deals with actual human bodies all the time and still not have a deeper connection to their own body. And so the power of Virgo, this divine earth sign, mutable earth, always changeable, willing to adapt, willing to reveal all of the options that are available to us. Are you interested in learning more about your human body? And so learning through medical astrology has changed my relationship to my human body and how I interact with other human bodies as somebody who does body work for a living. Learning how to really reconnect to my own cells, my own meat, my own water bag, meat bag, electrical system, lovingly, nourishingly, with curiosity. If we had learned how to connect to the digestive tract with self-massage for our own self-care, so we can expose our abdomen, and we can do this sitting up to start. You can do it laying down or propped up or just like laying there, but to just start at first realizing like, oh, I have a body and an abdomen here. Using any food grade oil, I like to use organic coconut. You can put as much as you want on the body. I like a lot for my own comfort. And the nourishment of the soft tissue and the cells of the skin. So we're going to explore our digestive tract with a consciousness around connecting to the whole abdomen. And essentially the wonder and the awe and that we are connected, something so great. and especially the power of digestion. That is such a spiritual thing. We don't even think about it. We don't even think when we put things in, what's happening inside, and when it comes out, it's all autonomic. And the moment we can pause and connect to the fact that we have an abdomen and a small intestine, that the cells that line the small intestine are under supreme attack in so many different ways, and we are the perpetrators as well by continuing to ignore ourselves. So if we want to just connect to the fact that our digestion goes in a clockwise circle, this is safe for all humans. This is safe if you're pregnant. It is okay to touch yourself. You're not going to harm yourself. Especially if you have abdominal and menstrual and menopausal discomfort, or have had surgeries and laparoscopic incisions, you can get in there and explore that. If you've had a C-section or your gallbladder removed, all of these movements and potential explorations belong to you. We eat food, it goes in the mouth, down the throat, into the esophagus. The diaphragm is this big, powerful muscle that's inside the rib cage that is like this. And the diaphragm, if I would tip it, it has holes at the top. So it's a muscle that has holes in it, that the esophagus and the aorta that comes out of the heart actually goes through the hole. And right about here is our stomach, and our spleen is here. But our stomach, the esophagus goes into the stomach. The stomach then empties into the small intestine. And right at that junction, behind that junction, is the pancreas. Up here is the liver. But esophagus through the hole, into the stomach, into the small intestine. And now we're going to go through the entire digestive tract and how much is in this space. And most of us have never even connected to it in a nurturing way. Most of us have a harmful relationship with our bellies, a hateful relationship. Some of us have had that relationship with our body since we were little babies. Some of us were programmed in utero intergenerationally to hate our bodies. Learning how to nurture soft tissue is a way to reclaim the body, reclaim the relationship to the body. I'm just going over the hip bone here. You can do it anyway. Just see. It can bring up so much. It can bring up emotion. It can bring up temperature, nausea. You cannot harm yourself doing this. If you've had a mesh put in, you can do this. You want to we're creating circulation to the superficial tissues that inadvertently have a reflex effect on the intestines and the stomach and the pancreas. Just going over your rib cage. Feel the sternum, which is the breastbone of sternum, all the way down the midline to where it splits off, right? You want to hook your hands in there. Sometimes you might not even be able to. You can only kind of push here. But your ideal is to try to almost rake it open like you're scooping out a pumpkin, but you can be gentle, but you cannot harm yourself. Trust me. It's like learning how to go to the edge to feel your own being. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I've never done this before. There's so much to be said about learning how to just know that it's okay to touch the body, and that you're not you need to ask somebody if it's okay I'm telling you it's okay, right? Especially if you have cramping and bloating and endo, PCOS, or ovaries are like down there. We want to be able to, you can scoop everything out from the pubic bone up, scoop everything up. If you have can't use your hands and you have caretakers that can help you, you can use a spoon, the rounded edge of a spoon. You can use a rock. You can use a piece of wood. You know, you can use anything to essentially mobilize. There's no right or wrong way. The biggest desire is to help everything flow back to the heart. So, you know, eventually everything that we ever do, you can rub however you want, but everything that we do, we always want to go back to the heart. Just encouraging the flow, encouraging everything to flow. We have been systematically disconnected from our physical bodies purposefully, and so by engaging in these rituals and ceremonies for ourselves, even the day after the new moon, the sun and the moon are still in Virgo, and this is our offering to our lives, an offering to the moment, my intention to follow this body closely every single day until the moon reaches Virgo again at 29 degrees at the end of the line, opening up eclipse season in one lunar month. That can be our intention. We continue to follow the body and nourish and listen to the body. And I'm hearing you, like, what do you need? Most of the time, our body is just crying for us to connect to it. Please help me. If we've been rejecting ourselves for years in our depression, that deep pain and that deep longing is also coming from the body. And learning how to come back to nature and the body and the guts and the food that we put in here and the liquids that we put in and how that's affecting the cellular structure and the intestinal lining. By having a deep reverence and care for the fact that I have a body, I'm in a body, and I'm willing to learn to nourish and nurture this body before I leave this place. And I allow for the power of Virgo sun and Virgo moon to guide me on that journey. This is the power of the solar energy. Pour forth into thee. Awaken the desire to be intentional with your life. Awaken the desire to bring conscious awareness to your body, the ways that you think, and the relationships that you have in your life. What do you need to say? What are you continually putting off? And what are you willing to bring forth into this world and into this dimension for the greatest good of all? Focus on your own life. Allow for the power of Virgo to move through you, to allow this clarity to come through. You know what you need to do. And action is one small step and one small intention at a time. And intentional living is a powerful life. In spite of it all, whatever else is happening around us, we can also rise through this darkness. We are being called, and you know this. So are you going to come forward and follow your own soul?